Hi there, K-othic here. Today I wanted to make a review about the 7Hz Salnotes Zero. This was a hyped IEM a few months ago, and it's one of the most acclaimed $20 IEM that I know. First, let's go through the unboxing experience to get to know the IEMs and its accessories. Upon opening the box, we find the two IEMs. Then behind them we find cable and also some extra ear tips that I will talk about later. The IEM itself, it's made out of plastic, and the faceplate is made of metal with the inscription of the model. And also with the branding, as we can see, the 7Hz Salnotes Zero. Now onto the cable. It's a cheap cable, but it didn't feel bad at all. I really liked the feeling of this cable, and it's a 2-pin cable. And also has a 3.5mm connector. Lastly, we have the ear tips. We have 6 pairs of extra ear tips, and that's quite a lot for a $20 IEM. Some of the ear tips have a narrow bore, and some of them have a wider bore. The wider bore ear tips don't change the bass and treble at all, and lets the user hear those frequencies as the tuning intended it. On the other hand, the narrower bore ear tips reduce the treble, resulting in an enhanced bass experience. So I like this cable for 2 reasons. Firstly, the cable is pretty flexible, so it doesn't tangle up easily, and that helps me with my everyday usage experience. Then I like that the 3.5mm connector is straight. That helps relieve the tension on the ends of the connector, and it's a rare find in IEMs under $20. If I have to point out something negative about the cable, is that it's a little bit microphonic against clothing, but it doesn't happen a lot, and I can live with that. Let's talk about measurements now, shall we? These measurements are from the Chronicles website, so feel free to check him out and check this out in his page. We can see the green line that represents the 7Hz Zero tuning, and the gray dotted line that represents the Harman target. The tuning of the zeros, it's reminiscent of the Harman target because Chronicles made his own interpretation of the Harman target with this IEM. Firstly, analyzing the bass region, we can see that the sub-bass has great extension and the bass has a little less presence. This results in a smooth transition to the mid frequencies. The mids are almost a replica of the Harman target mid-range, They don't sound recessed at all, and they sound present when they need to. Transitioning to the treble region, we can see a dip in the 3 kHz that results in a laid-back or dark treble, but the upper treble extends well, giving air and openness to the sound. So now onto my sound description. As mentioned before, the sub-bass has great extension and the rumble generated can be felt. Then the bass frequencies from 50 to 200 Hz are not that impactful, but as said, it helps the transition into the mids. I tested the mid-range with a lot of singers like Queen, Billie Eilish, Adele and Bocelli, and I couldn't find anything unusual with them. All voices came out naturally, and the female vocals had a little bit more presence or authority than the male vocals. The treble region sounds relaxed as described before, and this helps with the musicality of this IM and also favors long listening sessions. I found the treble on this IM to be pretty inoffensive, as I experienced in the song Black Magic by Slasher, where the drummer is hitting the cymbals continuously during the introduction of the song, and they don't come out as sharp or bright as someone would expect. Soundstage-wise, this IM has good width and depth. In songs like The Great Unknown by Iron Maiden, I can easily pinpoint the distance between the drummer and the main singer with the guitars. However, imaging is one of its weak points. In songs like Alta Suciedad by Calamaro, I find that this IM can't differentiate the left guitarist from the right guitarist. A highlight of the Zeros is its timbre. It's excellent for the price. As I heard Winter by Vivaldi, I could easily differentiate all the string instruments that were played, like the violins, the cello and the counterbass. Lastly, I wanted to make a comparison between the 7Hz Zero and the KZ DQ6, which I reviewed in my last video. The tuning of both of them is pretty similar. The DQ6 tuning is in blue and the 7Hz Zero is in green. The main difference lies on the treble region. The treble on the DQ6 is quite sharp or brilliant and gives a sense of clarity and detail, whereas the treble on the 7Hz Zero it's more laid back and favors long listening sessions. There are subtle differences in the bass region, but they are not so noticeable. So, this conclusion is a pretty easy one for me. For $20, the 7Hz Zero offers an outstanding performance. If I have to choose between the DQ6 and the Zeros, it will be a tough fight, but I would choose the Zeros due to its more natural tonality and timbre. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I hope you liked the review. In my channel's description you can find all the other reviews I already posted, so feel free to check them out. I will be checking the comments for feedback if you want to write something. See ya!